Okay, I'm not sure this is going to work. So I'm moving us over to a different stream. I don't know if this will work. I sure as heck hope it does. Uh, if you are in the, oh well, it's hard to tell you that. But people, if I think people like Loretta are going to see that there are I'm going to wait a minute now too, but cuz I'm the only one that's watching. I think. Oh, hey, good morning. Oh, Louise, hello. Good morning. Yes, we got quite a bit of snow. We got a lot of snow. Um I think Leslie might have gotten more out in western part of Massachusetts. Well, not really western, but western of us. Um, west of us. We're on that line where it's coastal, so it's very possible that we could get rain, and we did at the very beginning of the storm. So on Saturday night it was rain, and then it just snowed and snowed and snowed all day, all day yesterday, and Sancho didn't come over until this morning. But I don't know if that's why I was having problems. Okay, so now I'm getting more and more people here, and we can get started. Good morning. I'm starting to see people come over. Oh, there's Aledra. How are you, Aledra? Okay, I'm starting to see like the usual suspects. Loretta, Leilani, hi. Gloria, Gail is here. Let's see. I'm just going to give it another minute or so. All right. Oh, man. Just when everything is all like perfect, it goes wrong, right? Okay, well, you guys, it's Rita from It's Rita to the Rescue, and here we are doing our Valentines. Before I get started, I wanted to tell you that I will not be having a show tomorrow. I'm going in for my every 3 months, my quarterly, I guess, scans. So say a little prayer for me and wish me luck, because I feel pretty good. I wish that I felt better, but I think I'm just being impatient with myself and the process. So good morning. I don't know if the other will close. It might close because I did have it live for a second. All right, so here's what we got today. And I don't know if it's just like I'm looking at the screen and it looks kind of like it's not the best screen. But anyway, so tomorrow, no class, and then I'll be back on Wednesday with another Valentine that I'm working on. Some of these are repeats of last year because I feel like I didn't really go over them too well, and I wanted to kind of repeat. That includes this one, which I made this real cute envelope for. That was from the paper that I got from Michael's, and it has a beating heart, and that is achieved through the use of what's called an action wobble, or I saved the information. Here is what it's called. Craft spring. They call it craft spring. When these first came out, they were known as action wobbles, but now they make them like Michael's makes them, and they're much cheaper. Now, there are 2 different sizes of these action wobbles. This is the big size, and there's also a small size. Unfortunately, because I am absolutely inundated with extra stuff, I tried to go through some of my stuff I think I'm going to have a garage sale or something in the spring because I just have way, way, way too much stuff. But unfortunately, I couldn't find my small action wobbles, which I know I have. So I had to cut this one down, and I'm going to show you how I did it. You found your wobbles? They're hard to keep track of. They're in a very tiny, they're white, and they're in a very tiny different thing. Now, I changed this card up a little bit too. I was using a cutout, and then I thought, well, maybe I will use iron-on, but then I changed my mind and decided that I wanted to put this in there, My Heart Beats for You. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you where to find this. All right, and then you can, if you can't find it, you can always go to my community profile, which it's in the description of most of my projects, but if you go and just type in Rita, you can find a lot of mine. I'm listed under Miss Rita to the Rescue, as you can see here. So let's go ahead and do customize so we can get in here. Oops, I got to save my dynamite one, which is just cute. So here is the project as I developed it, and just what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I added things like the envelope and the sentiment conversation, I was going to say. So first I went to images and I went to image sets. And yes, we're going to go to Rob and Bob again. I like their aesthetic. I think that's what they call that. I like their style. I would normally say style, but I like their aesthetic. Okay, so here we are. And we're going to actually go and look for Happy Holiday Collection, I think. Let me check. I think it's under Holiday Collection 1. So let's check that one out. Holiday Collection. This is 2. And here's Collection 1. Let's see if it's under here. Yes, it sure is. So under this, which is fairly new. This is a fairly new image set that they added a year ago or so. And there, by the way, I just wanted to let you know, Rob and Bob now have their own community profile, Cricut community profile, and they have so many images in there. So you can check them out just by typing in Rob in the on the home page. So there is our card, and it comes with an envelope, so which I had forgotten about, so we don't have to worry about the envelope. I did make some changes here, so I just want to show you what I did. So the envelope is perfect. It's my favorite kind of envelope with that rounded flap. And then you'll see that there are these, I think they're called concentric. There are these concentric hearts, right? And there's all these layers. So don't get all like nervous about the layers, because that's just the way that it is. Now, you guys know I don't like to have too many folds on a card, and so for this one I did change so that there would only be one fold on the card, and this is what I came up with without the sentiment in there. So I actually put this one here and then made this one the top one. I turned it into just the top bit here. I found this card to be a little bit confusing because all of these pieces here are differently sized. So it's not the same thing that I'm used to. I'm going to align right and align bottom. So, yeah, I found this a little bit confusing, and I probably made it worse. But so the basic idea here is that you're doing all these hearts, and it gives that feeling of beating, that sort of thing. So let's have a look at what somebody's feeding my dogs. Must be Santo. They don't eat this time of day, unless I misheard it. Okay, so what I did was I changed it. So here's our envelope. We don't have to worry about that. And then here are our 2 cards. So I decided that I was going to use the action wobble and do My Heart Beats for You. And then I would make this card be the 10 by 7 inch card. That's white. That's change. And then I have an interior card here that is 9 3/4 by 6 3/4, 6.75. So the typing on this, the writing, the drawing, the font is from I think it's called Banana Split. Let's go in here and just go to text and try out. I think it's a bookmarked one that I did. It's called Banana Shake. Now, interestingly, see, this one is a single layer and comma writing. So we're going to do writing on the inside of the card. So we're going to choose that Banana Shake, and we're just going to type in, let's move this. We're going to type in My Heart Beats for You. Now, this is a cut font. It's showing cutting. How do I know that? Up here under the style, it says regular. So if I want to see what it looks like in writing, I have to choose the writing font. And you see it changes quite a bit as far as the size, and it's only a single line font. So you won't get those bubble letters. Not all fonts are made, and I think that Leo at Dreaming Tree calls them single line fonts, but not all fonts are made like that. Although they have changed them a little bit so that if you chose a different font, so up here, let's try this single letter Birthday Party. Here is what I mean about that. So Birthday Party, it is in bubble letters, basically. So when this writes out, you're going to see My Heart Beats for You. If you think that it's going to be filled in, you're mistaken, even if it's listed as the writing font. So you have to make a decision which kind of font you want. Now, I like the ones that are cut files, and I usually use my iron-on or my vinyl, but I thought this one was just kind of cute and wanted to choose a different font that would just be a writing font. So basically this one is called Banana Shake. Okay, Banana Shake. And it says, My Heart Beats for You. Now, this might be fine for you to have My Heart Beats for You, but you'll notice if you put My Heart Beats for You, the original one that I did, next to this one, you'll see it's not lined up because I think there's too much space between the lines. So if I want to make it so that there's less space between the lines, then what I need to do is come over here to advanced advanced, okay? And we have to choose ungroup two lines. This is something you do when you're working with a font, okay? So we're ungrouping two lines. Now that I've done that, I can take and move my lines so that they're closer. Now I'm going to use a 1.0 black pen, 1.0 medium, I guess it's called a medium marker. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So there is the marker that I'm using. Now you probably have this one, the 0.4. But I found out that if you use this medium tip in black, then, which is part of the precious metals pen set that Cricut came out with, and I think that's why they're clearing away the other metallic pens, because this includes medium in black, gold, and silver. Yeah, so this is a 1.0, and it's based on, so this is something that, maybe you know, maybe you don't know. All right, sorry. I dropped something and they thought they heard the food bowl. So this is based on, regular, there's a standard. So when you buy pens, and you maybe don't even recognize it, but when you buy pens, the higher up the number, so if you have 0.4, that's pretty thin. And the higher up the number, and there's some that go over the 1.0, but usually you see them in like 0.5 or 6, 0.8, 1.0. That's what this is, the difference between this and this. It's the tip of the pen, okay? And yes, the 0, the 0.3, the 0.4, those are all terrific for writing, very delicate writing. But I kind of like the way this came out. So let me bring you down and you can have a look here and see what it is that I have done. I am so disorganized right now. I feel terrible because I have all these ideas and everything, but I'm just kind of disorganized. But anyway, here's the envelope. I'm going to show you how to fold the envelope, and then I'm going to show you how to put this together, especially using the action wobble. And you, my friend, are not going to be barking at me. You can't be barking at me. You can't. All my friends are going to say, don't bark at me. They're gonna be all like, Miss Rita has a annoying dog. Okay, here, I'll give you one cookie. I always give the cookies. The cookies are here, guys. Oh, there you go, buddy. All right. Now that they're taken care of course they're not taken care of because they'll be coming back for more. So here is what it looks like with that 1.0 marker, basically in black. And we're going to just fold that. And I have made a lot of these because I went back to the drawing board on them a couple of times, and there you go. So let's go ahead and first do the envelope. So the envelope, I love this envelope. It's a great envelope, and I showed you a trick last week about how you can get a really nice score line for an envelope, and that was with using a scoring board. And then also a nice trick for having the envelope always at hand, and then you can just copy it and paste it into whatever program, because not all of the Rob and Bob, or any, for that matter, not all of the cards in Design Space have envelopes to them. And you guys know I'm not a huge envelope fan, but I need to find a way to use up my patterned paper. I have so much patterned paper that it just becomes really difficult to justify the space it takes up in my house. So let's see if this glue is going to work. Yep, it's going to work. So I always fold the side flaps first. And then the smaller flap here is for the bottom. Oop, let me move a little bit. We got a wicked shadow. If the groundhog woke up this morning, man, he'd be back to bed. Right? Shadow. Okay. And then just one thing I always like to do is when I'm making Valentines is I like to take a little bit of double stick tape. Now you might choose to use a sticker if you want. And actually on Wednesday, we're going to be going over a print then cut project that I've been working on. You may have seen it. It's called With the Exception of Cheese. And that uses a print then cut image. And so there you go. So that's how you would close this like this. But we don't need that there right now. We can just keep that there. All right. Now let's have a look at the interior of our card. So this one here doesn't have a sentiment in it. So we want to use this one, and there's our outside card, just like that. So again, we're going to get the double stick tape. And whoops. Now, if you don't have double stick tape, you can, of course, use glue, and that's fine. Or you can use a tape runner. I was thinking about that this morning. I suppose I could use a tape runner. That would be easier, but I find them to be, they run out before I ever have a chance to get used to them. So I don't use the tape runner all that much. I know a lot of people do use tape runner when they're making cards. I think it's something that they show you in Simon Says Stamps or some of the other like Creative Memories. I don't even know if they're still around, Creative Memories. But basically I've just put it on almost like a barn door, and I just feel like it brings a lot of stability to the card. So that's why I do it this way. I've been doing it this way for years. Oh, the pattern on the inside. That's a great idea, to have the pattern on the inside. I love that idea, because then you can address the envelope. This is especially good for mailing out your cards. So all I'm doing here is taking off the top of the double stick tape, and then I'm going to very gently sort of trying to be careful to get the most accurate placement here. And you only have one shot at this, so it's a good idea to do it carefully. All right, there we go, and press down. And now you have your card. Now you don't want to put tape on the other side of the card because it will cause problems with opening it up, and you don't want that. you don't want to deal with that. Okay, so then we have all of our hearts over here. Come on, hearts. So here are all the different hearts that we're going to work on. Now, again, as I said, I kind of messed up the arrangement here. So you do what's best for you. This is how it turned out for me. This here is the true 5 by 7 inch size, or it should be. And yeah, it is. There we go. No, it's actually a little bit bigger, because I cut it out earlier. And then we've got these other 2 sizes. Now you could put these sizes like on here, like this, which I think I would do. And then would have the black here. And then you get to see all 3 of those colors and the black. Or I had it so that the pink was the top one, but it turns out that because of that sizing issue, didn't work. And I had to shave off the side of my card a little bit. I might still have to do that. So I'm just using my glue to get my little pieces together. So I hope, there was a lot of snow, yeah. I don't know if you guys had the same amount of snow as I did, but it was a lot of snow, especially for a coastal community. It's a little bit difficult because Peabody isn't necessarily considered coastal. It is, we don't have like a beach, but we are coastal because we have a tidal river in our town. And let's just make sure we get this on right. So yeah, we have a tidal river here, which puts us on the coast, and the water controls quite a bit of the whole scene. When it snows, like, it will turn a lot. So people like on Cape Cod, they often do not get an enormous amount of snow when we have a storm. Not to say they're not getting rain and sleet and all that yucky stuff, but yeah, they get a different kind of precipitation. And I've always lived on the coast. I don't know what it would be like to live elsewhere. Always lived here. My sister, as you guys know, lives in New Hampshire. She's going to be coming down. It's my mom's birthday this week. So she is going to come down this week to spend some time with Mom. All right. And now we have these hearts. I don't know if you can see it, but I did cut out the white portion in that, what do you call that, shimmer paper. It's got a gold look to it. So this will be the last piece we put on before we start working the action wobble. All right, so this is cute as it is, clearly, but let's make it over the top. Let's do an over the top thing by adding an action wobble. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me just explain it to you. So these come in several different makers now. They used to only be made by Hampton Arts, and now people, and I've heard of people, including Dawn. My chat is acting up. Didn't see. Okay, I'm just checking. How How is everybody here in Santo? Is he on the chat? I didn't see him. Is he on the chat? Okay, so this is an action wobble made out of plastic. They're sticky on both sides, just like that. And there is a spring on the inside, all plastic. Now they come in a smaller version. They come in a smaller. Is here or is here on the chat? You're here on the chat. They all saying hello to you. Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Wait, are you waiting to go outside? You're on the chat.
Hi.
It says Santo is here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for taking care of Miss Rita. And we appreciate you. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, thank you to everybody.
He gave me a donation. You gave me a donation?
Yeah.
What? Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, hi.
You bought me a coffee. You bought me a coffee. I don't have any coffee in the house, so that would be nice. All right. Okay, got to finish up. Thank you. Okay. Now, the situation here is that these action wobbles are a little bit too big for my heart, for my red heart. So I'm going to actually take and sandwich the action wobble between these two red hearts. But I'm going to take away some of the outside of the action wobble so that it doesn't show when we're wobbling along. So this side is easier than the other side, but you see I've made it quite a bit smaller, and now I'm going to take and try to do the same with this side, although this side is a thicker plastic. Here we go. There we go. All right, and that should work with this action wobble if you place it like this, if you have the big one. If you have the small ones, use the small ones, then you won't have to doctor, do some surgery, whatever. So go ahead, and once you get that ready, you're going to need to remove the paper that covers up the sticker part and place it down like that. Then remove the sticker part from here. If I can. Yeah, I haven't been outside, but Mom went to a program today. I'm having a hard time. Let me. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, and now I'm going to sandwich these two together. You can do it this way. You can do it the other way if you want. There we go. Make sure you press down really well. And if you can get your fingers in there, it's probably a good idea to press that pretty well. And then let's take our card and we're going to glue it in there. And then we can wobble as much as we want. Anybody remember Weebles? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. I remember those as a kid. They were like these egg-shaped toys. They were so cool. All right. So now we have, woo, our action wobble. Isn't that great? And it gives the impression of the beating heart. So now we can just go ahead and put this on our card and get it ready to send it off. Or in my case, I'm going to be selling them at the local shop, the local gourmet shop downtown. Looking forward to that. And I gotta get. It's a little hard because have to change my the way I do things. Usually what I do is I work on a project, then I make 2 of them and I put them together. And then after I put them together, I figure out what is it that I want to focus on, right? And then so I have 2, and then I save 1 for you guys. Well, in addition to changing the, to show you guys, right? So in addition to changing the quantity, because I figure, oh, I should probably have more than 2 of each one, I mess up. I get, you know, you guys know me. I get picky, like, oh, I don't like the way this looks, or I change something, that sort of thing. And then just putting everything everywhere until it's ready. I'm going to put my cards into a cellophane bag, but I realized I bought the wrong size bag. So now this is what I mean I messed up. So over here you see on the back of the card there's extra right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my True Control knife, or you can take your X-Acto knife or something that you have, and I'm going to very gently and carefully cut off as smoothly as possible this bottom part. And then what I normally do is I go back and rearrange the card, and this one wouldn't be a card that I would sell. But I think I'm being a little hard on myself. Now, you could do something on this heart as well. You could make a, oh, he made me coffee? Oh, I thought I didn't have any. Oh, he made me coffee, you guys. Look at that. So nice. Thank you very much. I like it. And it smells like mint. Awesome. Okay. So you could go kind of a little kooky in terms of what you would do with your heart. But I just think that the action wobble, let's have a look at that again, is probably the best, coolest part of this card. And then you open it up and my heart beats for you. I think that that is clear that it looks like a beating heart. He sounds like a keeper. Yeah, he's really helpful to me. Really, really helpful. So, anyway, here is our card. It is done. Let's get our envelope and put it in there. And there you go. You have a beautiful envelope to give to somebody. And again, remember all the tips that you're learning in the chat, which is if you're going to mail this out, instead of folding it, and I'll show you what they mean by that. So here is some very pretty but very busy looking envelope paper that I cut out of envelope paper. So instead of putting it like this, what is Diana suggesting is you fold it so that the inside is the pretty part, and then you have a card that is inside, so it's the inside part of that. So that's pretty cool. That's a great tip, Diana, thank you. Yeah, glitter or maybe some holographic vinyl or something like that would be really fun. Definitely fun. So, awesome. That's how we would do it. And that, I think, is going to, well, here we go. That, I think, is going to do it. Hello? What's with that? Benji always has that dark brain. So Cheryl's saying I should do Easter. Yeah, I agree. Easter, St. Patrick's Day and everything. But I think for at the very beginning, she, because I asked her, how about thank yous? And because her business is mostly like gourmet food, and she does her own charcuterie boards and everything. And I'm not sure what all else. I think she sells like tea and things like that. So so for her, I don't know. Ooh, this coffee is so creamy and good and sweet. Oh my goodness. Hope you didn't put sweetener in there too. I use that creamery stuff that has already sweetener, but I don't drink coffee all that much, so. All right, so that is going to do it. Now remember, tomorrow I am going to be off because I have to go. It's an all-day thing. I have to go get my nuclear scans and my bone scans, and it starts at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And then it ends like around 3 o'clock. So there's just like no time to do a class. But I will be back on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I do have a doctor's appointment, but it may be virtual. So if it's virtual, I can do that and have a show. And then Friday, I'll be back. So that is going to do it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the action wobbles, or as they're known in Michael's by the boring name, Craft Springs. And it shows you like this. I don't know how much this costs. It's probably like $4 or so, but they're just a fun little thing to add to your crafting. All right. I hope so too, Diana. I will. I'm going to stay strong. Tomorrow, it's just, you know what I'm finding out? Oh, the schedule, Ardeen. Tomorrow, I have my every 3 month scans. So I have to be there at like 9 o'clock, and I won't get out until like 3 o'clock. And that's the thing that I'm finding is like there's a lot of your schedules for this, and so it's usually like in the middle of the day, and so it kind of ruins your whole schedule. I don't know how people who have, work lives, like I have a work life, but I mean, like have to go into an office and do something at a certain time. I don't know how people do that when they have a difficult medical issue. I don't know how they do it, but I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to be home, but it just takes up a lot of time. So it's not so much strength, it's just taking care of your schedule, All right, everybody. Pray, yes, please, if you're the praying sort, pray for clean scans, or as close to clean as we can get. From what I understand, my cancer markers have gone down. I am in very little pain. I do have trouble still walking, and it's right in my lower back, like when I'm walking, but I can stand well, and I can walk. I just have a limp that I've been praying about. So yeah, clean scans, please, if you're a praying type. All right, everybody. Thank you. So happy to have you here today, and love you all. And we'll see you again, remember, on Wednesday. Thank you, Ardeen. Thank you, Aledra. Thank you, Susan. The Nathan boys. Thank you. The Nathan boys. That's so cute. Is that Santo, the Nathan boys? Oh, that's Santo. Yeah, he's got a Nathaniel. That's the Nathan boy. He's got a Nathaniel. All right, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye-bye.